At Arizona State University, we've made online education better, smarter, and more personalized, so you can go further in your aspiring field.
I decided to pursue medicine once I realized that ASU did have the online program for biological sciences. You're still required to learn the same curriculum. You're still being tested on the same content that anyone would be tested on in person. The comprehensiveness of the program prepared me so well for medical school.
Explore over 350 plus programs at asuonline.asu.edu.
Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and Matt Flynn.
Okay, here we go.
Where the plays get broken down and science gets denied.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
Hour 2 of Off the Bench, live from the Raising Cane studio.
All right, welcome back in. Hour number 2 of OTB here live from the Raising Cane studio. Remember, our Wednesday shows brought to you by Hood Dental Care. You can go to the website, hooddentalcare.com, to find the location nearest you. And they got them in Denham Springs. They got them in Zachary. And there's a location near you here in the Baton Rouge area, so go check them out. Again, you can go to their website. That is hooddentalcare.com. Dr. Stephen Etheredge in studio with us, as he is every single Wednesday. And I just remembered, I knew there was something that I wanted to bring up with Doc, and I just remembered. So we're going to do this. We'll do it live. We'll do it live on air here. The San Francisco 49ers facility.
Oh, yes. Yes, I'm so excited.
I know. I totally forgot. Like, I meant to text Doc after our segment yesterday. Have you seen this?
I have not, no.
Okay, Doc.
I'm intrigued.
All right. Well, okay. I wish you would have prepared me. I would have pulled up the article, bro.
I know.
So there's the San Francisco 49ers training facility is right next to the stadium where they spend, 90% of their day right there in meetings, lifting weights, training rooms, practice. And it actually shares a property line right over the fence. Right next to literally the sky view, right next to the building is an electrical substation. And there are people out there that are talking about how these electromagnetic fields and I'd have to pull up the article to remember the exact terms they're talking about. If you spend numerous amounts of time around these different electric fields or currents, that it could have a potential to affect negatively soft tissue, collagen levels, things like that. That could over time, for an explosive athlete on a wrong situation or wrong cut or something, could have an impact on an injury. And they gave out all these stats about how the Niners are leading the league for the last, since the year that they moved to their facility, leading the league in all soft tissue injuries, Achilles tears, all these different things. And it's wild stats that people are bringing up. Now, of course, there's naysayers out there that are like, oh, this is conspiracy theory type stuff. But I think they're averaging 2.5 blown Achilles per season since they've moved to this new facility, all these different things. So
they are. It says the San Francisco 49ers, statistically the most injured team in the NFL over the past decade since moving to this location in 2014. Let's see, top 5 in adjusted games lost for 10 of 11 seasons. 7 full Achilles ruptures. League average is 2 per year.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
For sure.
40 plus major hamstring and calf injuries.
We've talked a lot about Achilles the past couple of months, and maybe we've been missing the mark on
right
on what we should be looking at. It's hard to say. I'm always of the mindset I don't ever poo-poo anything.
Yeah.
So people come to us stuff, and sometimes even when it sounds really outlandish, I think you got to be open-minded. I think it's very easy just to kind of dismiss everything we don't know. The honest answer, I have no idea, but it is definitely curious.
Yeah, see, this is there. I'm going to show a picture. Obviously, it's bad radio, but that's their facility. This is the huge electrical. It's a super.
It's
substation.
Right there. You're right.
Yeah.
Look, there are definitely a lot of things that come up that sound crazy, that sound whatever, and then you look at it and you look at the data. You can't argue with those numbers. Now, again, I'm sure we could find a lot of we always talk about co-founding things in any kind of medical trial. It's very easy to link something because of it's convenient and easy, but at the same time, I also don't think you should dismiss it. I think maybe we have to start
reevaluating
these Achilles injuries we talk so much about.
Doc's coming over to our side.
I just saw the street that is in between the electrical substation and the 49ers facility is called Bill Walsh Way.
Bill Walsh Way.
Pretty good.
Say that 5 times fast. Bill Walsh Way, Bill Walsh Way.
That was only twice.
I didn't want to keep going.
Okay. All right. One of the things about the playoffs was your 49ers are still in there that, knock on wood, we have every quarterback healthy. Feels like we never get to this point and have every starting quarterback healthy. It's like some teams playing with a backup or some quarterbacks like limping his way. But, I mean, these quarterbacks ready to go, which I always appreciate in the playoffs.
Yeah, you want to see good ball. You never want to win because somebody's hurt. You want to see it. And you're right. It seems it's across really all sports. I feel like so many postseasons. I think that never used to be a thing. It was rare, but with postseason now, it seems like so many of your key players have been out, and it's kind of nice to see reasonably healthy rosters rolling forward. Hopefully, it stays that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, playoff football is so great. Like it's like you want to have best on best, certainly. So we were talking about earlier about kind of weighing out with all the NFL coaching vacancies, what is the most attractive place? Well, certainly one of the most attractive places from a talent perspective is the Atlanta Falcons, which of course for Saints fans that means a lot. If you're a head coach looking at it, so we talked about this. We talked about a couple of weeks ago. We talked about Michael Penix, his injuries and repeated injuries to his knees. So multiple ACLs on the same knee, right? So from a doctor's perspective, if you're a head coach looking, how do you feel about his future? Like, can you make that knee as strong as it once was, as before any injuries? Or is that something that a head coach really needs to be like, I don't know. That's kind of a knock on the Falcons.
I think it has to be a little bit of a knock. And this is one of the things that we really hate about the job that we do here is you never want to say this guy is going to get hurt again. You never want somebody who seems to be a really good guy, who's been a good player when he's been healthy, that has had a lot of injuries. You don't want to be what derails his career or stops him from making that next step or prevents teams from going forward there. But if you're talking about the same knee, multiple injuries, why was it injured multiple times? Is this a kid that has some genetic predispositions or things of that sort, which probably to some extent there is? And then B, every time you injure something and then re-injure it, and especially if we're talking about a surgical injury and especially a knee, it's something you at least have to consider. Mm-hmm. I know it was a big talk. You think about back with Tua and his hip, that was a really unique injury, and I remember that was such a talking point. And thus far, the hip doesn't seem to be what's limited him, but that was a real point of emphasis after that injury because that's not a common injury, and there have been a lot of guys whose careers ended from an injury just like that. Mm-hmm. Well, with Penix, multiple knee injuries. Unfortunately, there are a lot of guys who, after multiple injuries, you find they either keep injuring or at the very least, it's hard to come back to that previous level.
So do you say that because when you have an injury to a knee or multiple injuries, like you just have like more proclivity to getting injured, or is it because that tendon? Let's just like take a real world example. So like the other day I had to like fix a piece of furniture and it was a piece of wood and I put wood glue on it and I let it sit there and it's strong as hell, but it's still not as strong as it was when it was a complete piece of wood. Now it's going to stay for a while, but it's still not as strong as it was. Is it something like if you repair an ACL, is it ever as strong as it once was? Can you complete a surgery though? It's like, yep, that's 100%. Or is it just, and then of course, when you get a second injury to it, you're putting more glue on it or stitching it up again, whatever it is. Is it that simple, or is it just because it is as strong, he just has a proclivity to getting injured in that knee?
I think, well, one, it's yes, you can get it to where it is as strong. Sometimes, sometimes even the ACL that we basically create to replace the torn one is going to be a little bit more robust. And you could sometimes even make an argument that just that ACL, if we're talking about just the ligament, might even be stronger than the one you had before. That is a possibility, especially if somebody was deficient to begin with. Maybe they had a smaller ACL. Maybe they had a previous injury like years prior. There's lots of things that go into that. So that's part of it. But then the problem, too, with an ACL injury, even if you technically only injure the ACL, so let's just say it's an isolated ACL, no meniscus injury, no anything else. Well, every time the ACL tears, the knee's going to kind of pivot and shift, and every time that knee shifts in a way that it's not supposed to, you're going to get bones that are bumping into each other, the cartilage is going to get rubbed into each other. So one, even if the ACL repair is perfect and he has a really good healthy ACL, that knee joint has been through more. He's going to be more prone to arthritic changes, and the longer he plays, the older he gets, those risks are going to go up. So part of it is, will that ACL be as strong? Probably, if it's allowed to heal appropriately and everything goes well with the surgery and everything like that. But then there also may just be some of the things with the way his knee alignment is that makes it a little bit more off-center to begin with, or that makes it a little bit more prone to injury. And then there's the other injuries, like I said, the cartilage, the meniscus, all the other stuff that goes with it. So every time it happens, you're going to have that risk. And sometimes a knee that even looks really good right after surgery, sometimes you don't realize how much cartilage wear there was. And sometimes that's the guy that 6 months later, like, why is he still swelling? Why is he still having so much pain? So there's a lot that goes into it, even beyond just the ACL with that injury.
All right. There's no reason at all why I'm asking this question. We've talked about Lisfranc injuries here on this show, so we're just going back into the memory bank of Lisfranc injuries. If you were to have a Lisfranc injury and you were trying to get ready for an upcoming football season, just so happens we're talking about it here, what is, again, got to have a refresher course, give our listeners like what that rehab kind of looks like and what to expect getting ready for a season.
Yeah, so Lisfranc injury, it's a midfoot injury, so kind of in the middle of the foot, you have the long bones in the foot that are your metatarsal bones, the ones that kind of run from the midfoot to the toes. And at the base of that second metatarsal, so the one that's at your second toe where it joins the midfoot, there's a joint there. And that's the joint that's injured with the Lisfranc injury. Sometimes in a milder injury, if it's on the kind of low end, sometimes you can just put them in a boot for a few weeks, and sometimes those people will do fine. But obviously, if you're talking about the more serious variety, oftentimes they do require surgery. Usually these are guys who are going to be non-weight bearing in a boot, in a cast for, at least several weeks after the injury. So you're looking at, roughly, 4 to 8 weeks, couple of months where you're not going to be that mobile, at the very least in a boot, very least immobilized. Now you can start doing some rehab work after several weeks, at least some motion and blood flow type things. But then you start that return. So one, you've got to let the injury heal. And then two, you've got to kind of rebuild the strength. You got to rebuild the motion of the foot and the ankle. You're probably looking at about a half a year-ish. There's some variability. But so you're looking at a 6-month-ish injury. So usually it's going to be a season-ending injury, but usually not one that carries over into the next year most of the times. There's always exceptions, complications that we hope don't happen. But the reality of it is usually these are an injury, if you have it, for the sake of the argument, mid-season, you might miss some spring stuff, but you'd probably be ready to go in the summer. So you're saying
if you had it in November, you'd be ready to go by
Random
May,
questions.
June?
Randomly speaking, you'd be looking, probably miss spring ball, but be ready for summer workouts, give or take a little bit.
Yeah. Interesting. Super random, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, yes. It's random.
Where do you come up with these questions?
It's totally random.
Of course, Lisfranc.
I have gone through that, though, and it can be annoying. Yeah. Because, you think it's ready, and you're like, oh, we're good to go, because you did the boot for 3 weeks, and you stayed off of it, and you had this special insole put into your cleat, and you're like, I'm good. And, all of a sudden, you take one step, and it's like, oh, I'm not.
Yeah. And those are tough. And foot injuries are tough. It's you walk on it, all the stuff that goes into it. So even just your normal day-to-day, let alone the stress that's put on it. So sometimes you do get minor setbacks here and there, but, I think with enough time, it wouldn't be something I'd worry too much about.
Minor setback for a major comeback.
There it is.
French surgeon, Jacques Lisfranc de St. Martin. You taught us about that a couple months ago.
That's right.
The French
Napoleonic
surgeon.
Wars and everything.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
He lived from 1790 to 1847, so his legend's still here.
Well,
right here in Baton Rouge.
It was an injury common in cavalry guys because the foot would get stuck in the stirrup, and they would, and that's usually how it used to occur. That was the mechanism back in the day. Obviously, we see it more in sports now. Not a lot of cavalry injuries anymore.
They didn't have the cowboy shaped boot then back in France.
No, probably
problem.
Not. Probably not. It's probably like in. I don't even want to put it. I don't want to mess history up. Actually, so I'm just going to stop talking. All right, Dr. Stephen Etheredge joins us every single week. Doc, we always appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. We always look forward to it each and every week.
My pleasure.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, real quick, national championship game, Miami. You want Miami to lose?
Yeah, it's hard to go for Miami. Okay. It was a weird place, like I said, when they played A&M and Ohio State. I'm like, but I can only go so far.
Indiana. Okay, I thought so. All right, more OTB when we come back here live from the Raising Cane studio.
Off the bench.
All right, when it's game day here in Louisiana, you know what that means. Friends over, food on the grill, TV's on loud, and an ice-cold Dos Equis in hand. So whether you're tailgating, watching from your couch, or turning your backyard into your own little stadium or arena, Dos Equis is the beer for big plays and good times. It's always crisp, it's always refreshing, and perfect for kickoff, tip-off, whatever it is. First pitch coming up. Hey, say now. To the final whistle. So crack open an ice cold Dos Equis. Enjoy the moment and make game day even better. And it's always better with Dos Equis.
That's right. It's Wednesday, a little hump day. It's about to be on the back half of this week. So maybe a little celebration beer. Maybe Wednesday's a worthy reason for that. So anytime you want to do it, if you're going to do it, make sure you do it responsibly. But You know, if you like to have a cold beer, make sure it's Dos Equis, that delicious cold Mexican lager with a nice fresh sliced lime right on top. Go for Dos. Drink Dos Equis.
Yeah, big. Talk your shit.
Partner, let me upgrade you.
How you gonna upgrade me? It's higher than number one. You know I used to beat that block. Now I bees the block.
Partner, let me upgrade. I hear you beat the block, but I'm the life to keep the streets on. Notice you the type that like to keep them on the leash, though. I'm known to walk alone, but I'm alone for a reason. Sending me a drink ain't appeasing, believe me. Come harder, this won't be easy. Don't doubt yourself, trust me, you need me. This ain't a shoulder with a chip or an ego. But what you think they all mad at me for? You need a real woman in your life. Taking care home and still fly.
Off the Bench with Hester and Flynn. Presented by Hood Dental.
All right, welcome back in. OTB here live from the Raising Cane studio. Always want to remind you that our Wednesday shows are brought to you by Hood Dental Care. Go find that location nearest you. Go to the website today. You can find that location. Check out all the information. HoodDentalCare.com, HoodDentalCare.com. What you doing over there, bud?
I am trying to pull up the link to my daughter has a little chapel skit.
I mean, you can say her name. She's a star of the show.
Right.
She's been a co-host before.
Tuzette.
Shout out.
Tuzette Flynn. Tuz. Going to crush it. I think it's her
Tuz.
first chapel skit. She says she's second grade. So their class does a little skit. They have chapel every week. And which is a fantastic little deal. But they do little skits. They've been rehearsing for a couple of weeks. She's got a line. She's very nervous last night.
What is it?
She was even nervous. She woke up this morning when I woke up, like when I was making my coffee. She's like, Daddy, I'm really nervous.
Oh,
Nervous, like,
She's
dude, she
on
came in
radio.
here on TV and radio and literally, like,
Yes.
didn't miss a beat.
That was great. I was
There's
like, hey,
more
baby.
people watching this than that. No offense. To
I said, nerves are perfectly
Respect, but-
fine. Their nerves are great, baby. That means you care.
yeah.
And so you're going to crush it. So they have,
Tell her to turn it into excitement next time.
absolutely. She crushes it. I'll say, so she's got her line. So I'm trying to pull up, they have a little live feed that they have. So I'm going to
pretty cool.
be watching it. So she's like, Daddy, can you make sure 8:15, get you a Post-it note, put it on your computer, make sure. You
She
turn on the
knows your
video.
brain.
I feel like I need to see this because
Yeah.
we like basically became best friends
You did.
when she was in here.
Yeah, no doubt, for sure.
did.
And I got to watch it live because I don't know if they'll like have the replay of it later.
All right, I'll do this. You go ahead. You
Well,
focus.
it's not on yet. We're waiting.
Oh, it's not on yet. So they're
Broadcast
late.
hasn't started. Live broadcast.
So it's supposed to start at 8:15.
Well, I think they start like filing into the auditorium at 8:15.
Okay. So
So
they're late.
it might be during Mulkey's interview. I don't know. We'll see.
Oof.
Yeah.
She'll understand.
She'll understand.
Which
Mulkey,
one?
okay.
Sure.
Tuz
but
or Mulkey?
It's
Mulkey.
Mulkey. Yeah, it's kind of our biggest, interview of the week. So,
Suzette would not.
Tuz would
Tuz-
not quite understand. You don't understand,
Would not.
Tuz? She's the coach.
She's like, and
She's won multiple national
She's
championships.
like, I'm your kid.
They just beat
Yeah.
the number 2 team in the land.
Like, oh, that's fine, Dad. You don't need to watch.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll still tell our listeners about Marucci because if you play the game, you know the name. It is Marucci Sports, born in Louisiana, trusted by the best. Marucci makes, we always talk about it, bats, gloves, gear, cleats, apparel. They make it all, and they make it for every level. So if you're a youth baseball player all the way up to the big leagues, and of course it is right here in Baton Rouge, right off of Seagan. Go see them at the headquarters. The Marucci Hitter's House is the spot to train. You got elite cages. You got pro instruction, first-class environment to get better. If you're looking for a new bat, remember you can check it out by using it in the cage. You can try it out, which is a cool deal. They've got the trade-in program as well with your old Marucci bat. So whether you're gearing up or putting in the work, Marucci is all about one thing, respecting the game. Check out the gear. Learn more, always online at MarucciSports.com. And again, you can go to the headquarters right off of Seagan here if you're in the Baton Rouge area. All right, Tate, I know you wanted to do more of an actual breakdown of Dylan Jones and not just hate on this man's name that he had literally nothing to do with. He was just given to by his parents, but I knew that you wanted to come back to it and give him his proper respect for on the field.
Yes. Dylan Jones, he's actually, out of the 3 running backs you have signed, he's probably the best one, at least the one that has played the most, right? I mean, Racing Guillory came over from Utah. He battled a little bit of an injury, and then you got Rod Gainey coming over from Charlotte. So this is the 3rd running back that you've added in the transfer portal. But look, I mean, it's 2-year career, 4.2 a carry. Now, last year dipped a little bit. He had 300 carries. 300 yards. Just 3.9 a carry, but that Wisconsin team was all over the place. That's not on him. He can catch the ball a little bit out of the backfield as well. So, I mean, Dylan Jones, that right now is probably, if you're looking for a third running back like with experience, he's probably the guy. I mean, he's 6 foot, around 210. He showed some explosiveness at times at Wisconsin. He actually began the season as the starter. They just had such a crowded running back room. So, Dylan Jones, he's a guy that's actually going to contribute for this football team.
Yeah, and I don't know what it's going to look like behind the two lead backs. And I know Caden's had some ankle injuries over the last couple of years, so you want to be able to stack some depth behind them. I do think it's going to be a two-headed monster at running back, but you do need a third back, and we saw Jawan Johnson was that guy this year. You're going to need a third, and so it's going to be one of those position battles to watch in training camp and spring practice to see which one kind of emerges to be that guy right behind the two guys that we expect to be your starting running backs. All right, so here in this segment too, I'm not sure who put the CBS Sports article in the chat there, but I like it because it's bold predictions for the transfer portal. So I'm going to give you the bold prediction, and I want y'all to tell me if it's going to be true or false. If it's going to happen or is it not going to happen?
I like this.
So the first one, Ty Simpson withdraws from the NFL draft and signs with the Miami Hurricanes.
Not happening.
No. He's going to be a first-round pick.
Okay.
There's been rumors of this in the past.
Remember,
Of,
Cam
teams
Ward
throwing
and
money
Carson Beck both declared for the draft and signed with Miami.
They did. They did. And if anybody could do it, it's Miami with their deep pockets. And they obviously missed on Sam Leavitt. If I'm Ty Simpson, go pro.
I know that words are words now. People will say and do anything, but Ty Simpson did come out yesterday and was that Miami came out with an offer, and then Tennessee did too.
Yep.
So there's two schools that are trying to get him to withdraw from the draft or not go into it at all. But he said that he is going to the draft. But again, words are words.
Yep.
I did.
They don't really mean
I got
much
that
now.
quote pulled up because I saw it and I looked at it and I made sure it was an actual quote and not a fake quote. This is actually from Chris Lowe at On 3.
Yeah, it was Chris Lowe.
He was responding to that and it said, "This is from Ty Simpson, quote, everybody would just remember me as the guy who took all this money and went to Miami or Tennessee for his last year. But I was a captain," so meaning at Alabama. "I put my hand and footprints in the cement at Denny Chime. I would have lost everything that I built at Alabama."
Yeah.
He's an Alabama guy, too.
That seems pretty final.
Wait, you put your hand? That's pretty cool, actually.
Like the captains, I guess. I didn't know that either, but I guess they put their hands in
We
there.
didn't get to do that.
I know.
That is pretty cool. That's a cool little tradition.
A cool little tradition.
But I mean, there's still people that are still have principle and morals and stuff, and money can't sway them one way or the other. Either way, you're going to make more money in the NFL.
Maybe he's just trying to get 7. They offered him 6.
Oh, okay. I thought it
Maybe.
was at 7.
Oh, was it at 7?
So I thought
Maybe
they
trying to get
offered
8.
him 6, and I thought that Tennessee came back and said 7.
Oh, really?
It was kind of a
I
bidding
think that's
war
what I
between-
read.
'cause
Yeah.
Tennessee's waiting on Joey Aguilar to get an extra
Yeah.
year. I actually think he's going to get it.
Yeah, because he's a JUCO guy.
Right, because, Pavia got it. I don't know why he wouldn't, but yeah,
Well, we were
desperate
all
enough.
super nervous about the LSU situation. And, we got our blinders on. We only care about LSU. We don't care about Tennessee or Miami. But, when those dominoes start to fall, there's a lot of blue bloods out there that are going to be without.
Yeah.
Especially Miami. You've, made your living the last 2 years on one-year transfer quarterbacks.
Yeah.
But if there's none available, then everybody's going to be in that panic. Like we were kind of feeling. We had that buildup of panic inside of us before the Sam Leavitt news dropped, certainly.
True.
So you got to remember that there's a lot of other people probably feeling that panic right now.
That's true.
So true or false?
Oh, no, he's not. He's going to the NFL.
All right.
Unless it's $10 million.
Number 2, Dante Moore, Oregon quarterback, turns pro, giving way to Dylan Raiola. who,
True.
I don't know if you noticed he's Oregon.
Yeah,
Dylan?
Yep.
So wait, Dylan committed to Oregon?
Yeah.
Breaking.
Yeah, breaking.
The Ducks.
Yep. The Ducks. Quack, quack.
if Dylan Raiola's signing, I imagine he already knows that Dante Moore's going to the NFL.
All right.
I mean,
Yeah,
he
I don't
shouldn't,
see-
but he'll go.
Yeah, I think so
should.
too.
I don't see Dylan,
I agree with that too.
Dylan Raiola signing if
Right.
he's not going to start. I mean,
Yeah.
he's been the starter. he has what 2 years left.
2 years of 2 years left.
He started 2 years,
and he started 2 years, and he had other options outside of Oregon. So I mean,
is he the number 2 quarterback for y'all
in the draft?
Country?
No,
in the draft.
No, Ty Simpson is.
Ty Simpson is.
Yeah, Mendoza Simpson.
I mean, you felt that you said that pretty confidently.
Yeah.
And I've seen a lot of lists and mock drafts.
No, you're right. You're right.
I agree with you.
I think
in my opinion,
throughout the process, though, that will weed itself out, and you'll see Ty Simpson take that number 2 spot.
So Ty Simpson to the Jets.
Oh, poor guy. Sorry, fella. Maybe you should go to Miami.
Yeah. Go
to
Mendoza to the Raiders.
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah. I know. Number 3.
They don't even have a coach.
I know. Baylor lands DJ Lagway. There's been he's going to go there. He's not going to. He's going to go to Ole Miss. He's going to go. Does he actually end up at Baylor?
Does Lagway have any other options?
Yeah, so Ole Miss is actually.
I heard his agent was calling everybody.
Yeah, but
hey, I got this guy.
I think he does go to Baylor though. Ole Miss on Deuce Knight.
That's what I was gonna say. If you go to Ole Miss, I don't see DJ Lagway being the starter there. So
I think he goes to Baylor.
Okay.
He'd already committed, but not committed. Like Alondra said, words don't really mean anything anymore.
Right.
But I think that's the school.
RG3 is making a big push.
Go ahead.
Put your money where your mouth is.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's going to Baylor. He seems like a Baylor fit for some reason. We just talked about things that just feel right and feel comfortable. To me, that feels like a good fit. I can't explain that. It just does.
You just, look, you got a lot of Baylor running through your veins. So I get it. I'm going to trust you here on this one.
Good, but not great.
All right, last one before we take a break and get to Coach Kim Mulkey. Trinidad Chambliss wins his injunction and starts at Ole Miss this year.
False. He's lost it 4 times.
That's true. Yeah, false.
Yeah, but aren't they doing it in the Mississippi court this time?
I believe so. Could be a State fan.
I don't know. I'll go different.
He could hit the gavel and go Hell State.
And I'll say that he somehow gets it. Tom Mars is his attorney is pretty confident.
Yeah.
And I get that you're an attorney and you're going to act like you're confident that you're going to get it, but I don't know. I'll go different. I'll say he gets the year. I'll get it.
Did they not sign that? They signed the other kid from Auburn?
Yeah, Deuce Knight.
They did.
I mean, it wouldn't be the worst.
Now he's
comes back and sits for a little bit.
Yeah, he was a true freshman. Made one start against Mercer.
Did I hear that they're petitioning the NCAA to change the redshirt rule?
Yeah.
Yes, we'll get. Okay, so we'll get to that. 9 games.
Teaser alert.
Which is, what are we doing? So we'll get to that a little bit later on. But when we come back, we are going to be joined by LSU head basketball coach Kim Mulkey right here on OTB.
Off the bench.
All right, we know down here in Louisiana, sometimes storms can just pop up. They can pop up fast, and when they do, you want a roof you can trust. That is always going to be over at Pelican Roofing. Pelican Roofing handles residential, commercial roofing across the state, from something like a quick repair to a full roof replacement, all with obviously quality materials and honest service. So if you've got storm damage or just you want the peace of mind when the next one does hit, Pelican Roofing will inspect your roof and walk you through every step, even working with insurance if needed. So protect your home or your business the right way. That's always going to be by visiting the website, going to see our friends over at pelicanroof.com to get started. In Baton Rouge, in Lafayette, 5-star reviews all over the place. PelicanRoof.com.
That's right, PelicanRoof.com. The meanest place on earth is the internet, and they love Pelican Roof because they do a great job. They're professional, and they get it done efficiently. So go check them out. If you got a big old project on that roof, PelicanRoof.com.
To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left. To the left, to the left. Everything you own in the box to the left. In the closet, that's my stuff. Yes, if I
Off the bench with Hester and Flynn. Presented by Hood Dental.
could you walk and talk at the same time? And it's my name that's on that tag. So remove your bags, let me call you a cab. Sending in the
All right, welcome back in. It is OTB here live from the Raising Cane's studio every single Wednesday at 8:30. We are lucky enough to be joined by LSU head basketball coach Kim Mulkey, who joins us now. Coach, we always appreciate the time. Hope you're doing well this week.
I am walking in this cold weather, but it feels good after a win, doesn't it?
Oh, there is no doubt about it, and what a win it was, and what an atmosphere it was also, Coach, inside the PMAC, and that's where I wanted to start with you. I know obviously you've been here for multiple years now, but just to where the program was, like when you take it over, to like what you see now, like to see the building as electric as it was, and the crowd so engaged in the game, and so many people that you probably see every single game, just they are so loyal to this team because of what y'all have done, the hard work that y'all have put in. Like, did you think that it could get to this place where you have the crowd like that? And like the success on the court has been great, Coach, but there's a lot of people that they're not going to miss an LSU basketball game now.
I did. I actually did. I just felt like I knew enough people in this state that supported me throughout my high school and then college career, even though it wasn't at LSU.
Mm-hmm.
I just felt like they had seen the program go to Final Fours and had never seen them win.
Right.
And I just really felt like we could build this. I certainly did not think we could do it this quickly. But, it's so special. And they're not just out there after we won.
Right.
They've been out there from the beginning. You can't, season tickets, you can't get a seat in the lower bowl anymore. And I told them when I'd go speak, you better get your tickets now because the seats you're going to want are not going to be available. And that's exactly what has happened. And it was an electric atmosphere, but we've had those numerous times. And I guess what made this one a little bit better was we won. And it was a very well-played game, ugly at times, but that's because both teams stressed defense. And it was awesome.
Yeah, Coach, what you've certainly done and what your team has done over the last couple of years is certainly special from just a fan base standpoint, but and a lot of it has to do with games like you just played and the victories and wins like you just had. So you come off of course you lost 2 in a row. Now you come back and you've won 2 in a row and capped off with this great win against Texas. And we talked about it in every sport. Like, you have to learn how to win close games. You got to learn how to finish off games. And certainly, like with a brand new team this year, those are things that teams have to learn. They have to, and you got to do it under fire like that. So has it just been the Kentucky Vanderbilt game? We learned something about ourselves. We learned how to play tight games. We learned how to play and what it takes to potentially finish a game, and they kind of put that all together against Texas?
Absolutely. And what do you mean, Coach, by learn how to win? Well, we learn how to execute a play when it's a tie ball game. We learn how to defend on the other end when it's a tied ball game. You learn through playing the game. You can't emulate that in practice. Sure, you can go through it. It's kind of like going through reps dummy, scrimmaging, but it's just different when it's a game atmosphere, and you can't rush it as fast as you want to as a coach. But, man, this team has the potential to really, really put something special together. I hope it stays this way, but I've been around long enough to know we're going to have our ups and downs when you have 8 new players, and you just got to stay the course.
Another thing, Coach, that, when I'm watching the game, I kind of notice is, like, making your free throws late, too, because, like, with, 46, 47 seconds left and Texas out there and they're down 5 points and they're like, all right, we got a foul. And you got to make those free throws. Like, that's finding a way to close out a game as well. Sometimes it can be just at the free throw line. You got to find a way to make your free throws, put pressure on Texas, because as you know, Coach, you miss those, you give them life. They hit a 3. All of a sudden you're in like, uh-oh, what just happened? So, like, even making your free throws down the stretch, I thought that was huge the other night.
Absolutely. Texas was 21 for 21 from the foul line last year. We scored as many, if not more, field goals than they did. We missed more free throws last year, and they didn't miss a free throw. So you better believe those free throws matter.
Coach, kind of to that point, I'm going to ask you a question that might be kind of impossible to answer just like on one specific example, but like, what's more exciting to you as a coach? Like when you have a team that you've been teaching and coaching, and we talk about learning to win. Like, what to you is a more exciting finish for your team? Is it like an incredible defensive stop at the end to win? Is it making a game-winning shot? Is it knocking down 2 free throws to send it to overtime or to win it in a pressure situation? Like at last play of the game, what's a more exciting like way to win for your team?
I'll take any of them.
I figured that.
The most exciting part to me, honestly, is when you have a lead and you can hang on to that ball and you can milk the clock a little bit and you're in control. But, it doesn't always happen that way. But that excites me because I feel like I'm in control. But whether you hit a big shot, whether you make a defensive stop, whether you get a steal, I've been a part of this game for, I don't even want to tell you how long, since I was 14 years old, and I have seen it all. I've seen the tough losses. Heck, guys, I lost a national championship with 0.7 of a second, and a kid hit a 3 when we were up 2.
Yeah.
So I've seen it all, and they're all exciting when it happens in your favor, and, man, it's just agony when you're on the other end and you don't win.
Coach, after the game, Vic Schaefer, who I've known for a very long time, and I know you have as well, was talking about the scheduling and for his team, and there was a lot of pushback about that because, like the SEC and the scheduling, it's almost impossible to have it spread out because there's so many good teams. And looking at the list of teams that you've played, and we've talked about it with you. I mean, you faced 2 top 10 teams in Kentucky and Vanderbilt, and then now it's number 2 Texas. It's going to be a top 15 Oklahoma. I know Vic was upset with the way their schedule kind of played out, but isn't it kind of hard in the SEC to not have at least one of those stretches?
Well, let me turn that around and ask you guys, what did you think of all that he was saying? I don't watch other coaches' press conferences. However, somebody sent this to me, and so, I saw it, and I thought, I really don't understand his complaint. You have the number 2 team in the country. You're coming off a Final Four. We all have something that we want to complain about. I'm playing 4 of my first 5 games against top 12 teams.
Right.
And the 5th one was undefeated. We can all complain. I'm not sure I understood who he was frustrated with, nor did I understand what did he want him to do.
Right.
You're not going to change the schedule. I guess I'm just getting older and realize we can complain all we want. It's not going to change. And it reminds me of a thing I used to say. I complained I had no shoes until I saw a man who had no feet.
Right.
And so, we can always complain, but what good's it going to do? Nothing's going to change. It makes you look bad for complaining.
Yeah. Coach, in the way that I view it, like playing football in the SEC is just like playing basketball in the SEC. It's like playing baseball in the SEC. Like, it's a privilege to play in the SEC, and with privilege comes pressure as well to play in the SEC. And I always thought, like, man, I want all of it. Like, I want to play Florida, then I want to play Bama, then I want to play Auburn on the road. Like, I always thought, like, if you want to, like, kind of talk about playing in the SEC, be proud of playing in the SEC, that's just kind of part of what comes with it. You have to know that you're not going to get a 3-game stretch where you play an unranked basketball team, football team, baseball team. That just doesn't happen.
I don't want to, go after Vic in any way, but I just didn't understand it. I'm worried about my own team, not his team, and he's coming off of a loss, and maybe his heart just, started spilling out of his mouth. I don't know. I just know it's tough on all of us, and we all have something to complain about. But just as you age, you just, take whatever's given to you, whether you think it's fair, whether you think it's right or wrong, play ball. And he sure has a very good team, has another chance to get to a Final Four, win the SEC, and possibly play for a national championship. And, I'm sure he feels the way he feels, but you're not going to hear me complain. You might hear me sarcastically say something, but not in a way where your whole press conference is about complaining.
Right.
Well, Coach, I think I speak for all LSU Tiger fans when I say keep frustrating them, keep making them all complain, Coach. And going forward, you take on in 4 days, you take on the number 13 ranked Oklahoma Sooners. Just give us a little preview of what you see from their team and a preview of the game.
Well, you're going to see one of the best post players in the country in Reagan Beers. I love that child. Her high school coach is a former player of mine in Colorado Springs, Colorado. She started her career at Oregon State. But, man, she's really tough and good. She's going to be a beast to try to keep off the boards and scoring. And then you got Aaliyah Chavez, who's the number one player in the country last year, at point guard for them. Actually, we recruited her for a while and then decided to back off. She's shooting it 25-plus times a game, and not many freshmen have that kind of confidence just to go in there and just, shoot it that much. But I guess, they need her to, and she's certainly very good at it. So that's where I would start with those two young ladies because they make them go, and, man, are they going to be tough to defend.
Coach, last one for me, and I always love picking your brain on other college sports and other coaches and other people that are doing big things in other sports. And Indiana's playing for a national championship game in football in Miami in a couple of days. I'm going down to cover the game, and I had them last week too, Coach, down at the Peach Bowl, and I was highly impressed with the way they went about their work. And their coaching staff's been together at 4 different stops, and they started at Division II, and they've got a team full of 3-star recruits that were always told they weren't good enough. And I just know you well enough to know that you probably appreciate the way that team has kind of come out of nowhere, put their head down, went to work, didn't complain, and just found a way.
I just read an article, and I think it was the Wall Street Journal on their coach. And it was very interesting. In fact, I sent it to my entire staff, how he has built his program. And when you look at him, he doesn't fit the mold of a Nick Saban assistant to me. He's kind of analytical. His quarterback is the same way. And I'm like, okay, this is different. This is different. But, man, has he really put it all together. And I don't know him personally, but as I watch him coach, I just think he has this dry sense of, and I don't want to use the word nerdy, but, it's like, book. Like he's the one in class that's going to analyze the book, whereas the old jocks in class would probably say, oh, he's a nerd, and he's not. He's smarter than anybody else, and he figures out a way to win. And I just kind of have been watching him from a distance, and when you listen to his quarterback talk, I don't think anybody probably had that kid on the radar to win the Heisman.
Right.
And they have put it all together, and I hope it's a good game. I have no dog in the fight. Don't care who wins, but it does make Indiana proud because when we think of Indiana, guys, who do we think of? It doesn't matter. You think of Bob Knight.
Bob Knight, yep.
You think of Bob Knight. You don't think of Indiana football.
Steve Alford, yeah. Isaiah Thomas, yeah. You don't think football for sure. It's quite remarkable what they're doing there. And quite remarkable, as always, Coach, to watch your team and have you on the show. We can't thank you enough. We appreciate it. Good luck in Oklahoma here in a couple of days, and we look forward to next week.
All right, guys. Take care now.
All right, you as well. Coach Kim Mulkey joins us every single Wednesday here on OTB, and we truly do look forward to it all the time. I love getting her insight, too, on other coaches because she appreciates other coaches, and, like, hearing her talk about Jay Johnson, hearing her talk about Nick Saban, Kurt Cignetti there, like certainly, Kim Mulkey in her profession is one of the absolute best to do it. So it's always great to get her insight there. All right, we will take a break. More OTB when we come back here live from the Raising Cane studio.
Off the bench.
Oh, yeah, baby. You got to make your mind up.
Tigers turn talkers. This is Off the Bench.
right, welcome back in. OTB. Wednesday shows brought to you by Hood Dental Care.
Get them teeth right.
Look, I know Coach Mulkey's known Vic Schaefer for a long time. I've known Vic for a long time. Love Vic, great guy. So I was surprised to hear his comments about kind of like the scheduling and we had to play South Carolina and LSU back to back. Sucks. I get it. But it's part of the league. What do we talk about in football all the time in the SEC? Where's the 3-game gauntlet? Everybody's got one for the most part. Now the league's gotten bigger, so maybe you don't have the ones that you had once when it was a 12-team league, even a 14-team league. You still have them. It's kind of what it is.
Yeah.
We could look at every schedule and be like, whew, there it is. You better be ready. You better go at least 2-1, and it's going to be tough in that 3-game stretch.
Well, we're all human. Even coaches that have coached for a long time at big-time programs, everybody makes I guess you could look back on it and say mistakes. He was probably talking with emotions right there, coming off a tough loss, and we all say things sometimes, but certainly came off as pretty soft. So, Coach Mulkey, make them all complain.
I'd say you ain't gonna hear that from Coach Mulkey.
Let's keep beating them all.
Yeah, I mean they just played the number 2 team in the country. What's the next game? On the road against a top 13 team in the country.
Make him say, you scheduled LSU? That's impossible. That's not fair. We don't want to play them. It's like a pro team.
All right, when we come back at the top of the next hour, there's a new redshirting rule being maybe greenlit in NCAA. I don't know, maybe.
Off the bench.
We love Rouse's here.
Love
Rouse's Market. Go check them out. You can get dinner right now. It's already ready to go. Easy. Walk in, walk out. Sides included. Love that about them.
There's a breakfast bar somewhere out there, too, right now.
We know we love a breakfast bar. It hates to see us coming.
Mm-hmm.
King Cakes should hate to see all of us coming.
Yep.
We know Rouse's has all different flavors, including the Dr. Pepper King Cake. If you want to get hydrated, go get some My High. Right there, Rouse's. DrinkMyHigh.com. When you go to Rouse's, remember, go to that website, rouses.com. You can find that location that is nearest you. You can find the weekly ads in the location that you always go and visit. There's so many different options for you. I mean, truly like a tailgate, a party, whatever you've got going on. If you're hosting for Mardi Gras, your house is the meetup house. They've got you covered. Rouses.com.